It's actually a feature of the D recorder app that I'm using to screen record, or I should say live stream for that matter, to this particular episode. So that's the server address, that's the stream key, and you paste it into the RTMP. And we are using version of DU, let's see here. We are using version 2.1.5, which I believe, no, 1.7.7.3. Okay, so with this particular app, it's the only version that I found where usually when you have your videos in the this library up here, you'll get a list of videos. And then you either get the option to rename it, edit, or compress it. This version of DU is 1.7.7.3, and it's the only version that I've seen where it actually gives you the option to add promo. Now you can't see it because it's live. I would have to be recording at the moment to show you that menu. And I can't even show you those tools at the moment. So anyways, while we're waiting for other videos to upload, dual apps. So, I mean, the way I set this particular page up, it's basically all AI. And Parallel Space is actually, most people know this app, but these are like the app that I first started learning how to do clones like many years ago, and it's still used as an industry standard today. But now we have the influx of a whole slew of cloning apps, and which ones are good, which ones are bad. There's just tons of them, and the best way that I find out is by trial and error. And for me, the apps that I've worked with the most as far as cloning goes are the following. Now you can't really tell because the icons have been altered, but at one point it was Parallel Space and Parallel Space Light. Then it was a program called Dr. Clone, which is still used. Then I use an app called ES Parallel Accounts. And then I found a early access app called Island, which is this app right here, which also works very well. But when you use that app, it actually, you have to give it permission to be a device administrator. So technically it can be like monitor and manage a team of people, like a network, a company, a business, things of that nature, the way it's designed, because it creates a work profile. So the clone is nothing like the original. So I'll just open it. Oh, I don't have it installed. So I'm just naming off a few of the early gen cloning apps. And then the apps that I used were these apps that we're going to go to right now in Game Guardian, and then I'm going to show you what are the apps that are now the way to go. So how I learned was all through this website called Game Guardian, which is a site that helps you crack video games. And there's a section in this site where on the main page, you're going to see a place called Virtual Spaces. And I would just tell anybody that's interested in parallel apps just to look at those first before they download new ones from Play Store, just to see what has kind of been like they use the most. So I'm just going to break it down. These two are basically the top of the line. Virtual Exposed is very complex and it can do a lot more than Parallel Space, but it's completely different. Dual Space is been around for a long time. It's basically good for just cloning Messenger, Facebook, social media. Virtual Expose and Parallel Space can clone other apps, can clone games, and it creates separate environments. Now there's Parallel Space Lite, same thing, just a little bit lighter. Then there's Parallel Pro now. But I believe in this version, it's a trial. You have to trial for 7 days. Then there's an app called Dual Space Blue, Dual Space Lite, and they're basically slimmer, slightly different. And way back when, they all did not work with what you call Google services. Like there was a bug and Google services would always break down. So if you had a game and you want to log into the second version of the game on the same device, what it would do is like once you logged into the second game, it would emulate the original game's environment and not create a separate space for it. It would just copy it because the Google services was not working correctly, so you could log into Facebook, but it's not the same thing. Then here's ES Parallel Counts. That was working at one time good, no longer really. This was another good one that's kind of faded out. Dr. Clone is still very popular, but it's very sketchy. Every single app that I'm showing you is sketchy, and I've used all of them. Virtual Space, Nox app. The fact that this app is still around, I don't get it. And then there's Octopus, which is a good cloning app for gaming. And then there's an app called AppBox, and you won't find this on Play Store. Then there's Multiple Space, then there's Clone App. Now you will find this. Now the trend is this type of app right there. That is what's the new generation. And then also App Hider has been coming out to the public. What that does is it literally hides your screen from any visual inspection. It turns the screen black and you can play your game, but you can't record it. If you try to record it, it's going to be black. And Calculator and App Hider work the same. It disguises itself. Then there's Multi. Then there's Two-Face. And now the icons are old, you guys. So then there are new Two-Face. There is Two Multi. And there is Dual. There is Phone Dialer. Notepad is a joke. VMOS is and Clone App. This is one of the new gens. So the best way to do it is to go to a browser, not Play Store. A browser. You want to go to Play Store, live in desktop version. And then what you're going to get is about 4 times as many apps. Okay, so just watch when I type in. Oh, it's defaulting back. It doesn't want to do this. Which browser did I get it to work in? It's worked in here before. I don't know why it's tripping. I'm going to go into secret mode. Okay, and I'm going to go to Play Store Online. Make sure I'm in desktop mode. Yep. And now we have it. Okay, so I'm not going to log in. I'm just going to show you. You go to the apps, you type in cloning, and you're going to see a whole new slew of cloning apps. And I will point out the ones that I've worked with and that I feel are actually legit. So every single thing on this page are really the latest and like this the greatest. So out of all of these apps that you see right here, it gets overwhelming, but I'll tell you which apps that work. This app right here called Clone App Pro, and then it always either will have a company app, meaning a 32-bit helper or 64-bit helper. This app right here is very good. This app right here is excellent. This app is okay. This app is very good. And of course, Parallel Space. Now, this one, there's now I'm gonna show you the ones when you download them, you will actually have your phone crashing and a lot of notifications and it draining your battery. This app right here, this app right here, and the new app right here, which is the first cloning app. Not the first, but actually the second generation cloning app that can clone like between 5 and 6 copies of the same app without you having to like pay anything or upgrade. They do have limits, like 4 to 6, and I think after that then they cut you off, and then I think they ask if you want to upgrade, but they don't charge you in the beginning at all. So you can take any app. And so what I've been working is like cloning Periscope. I've been cloning texting apps. I've been cloning not so much games at this point. Now, because of the whole WhatsApp, Hangouts, Dual Chat, WeChat, you're going to see a lot of these kind of apps right here. WhatsWeb, Wabi, all of these green apps right here are ones to really check out and observe, because they all have a common denominator, meaning that they are designed to work together. Now, last but not least, this app right here, there's 3 purple apps that work really good. The 2 accounts in the beginning. Then there's this app called Parallel app. It used to be called MoChat. And last but not least, multiple accounts. But if you download multiple accounts, you will get a warning from your device security saying it's unsafe. And then you got tons and tons of dual spaces. And then they have an app called, see, here's WhatsApp for Business, WhatsApp Pro, WhatsApp Scan. All of these apps. Web Scan, dual apps. What else? It goes on and on and on, you guys. This is just like the tip of the iceberg. I mean, not the tip of the iceberg. This is just like the beginning of the whole cloning thing now in 2020. Okay, so how do you do it? So what I wanted to show you is an excellent version of a dual Facebook app called Multi-FB account, which is that app right there. So if I go to, see if I even have it in this device. Okay, so we're going to get it in Play Store.